Gary is a tow truck driver and he received a court order for asset seizure to tow Maddie's car. He tells her to pay her property taxes, but Maddie freaks out because she will be unable to pay since she works as an Uber driver. Gary is mad at Maddie because she ghosted him for 3 months, so he's not willing to help her in any way. In a desperate attempt to get him to cooperate, Maddie says that her feelings were so intense that she got scared. Gary was almost going to fall for that, but he sees a man coming out of Maddie's house. Now Maddie has to roller skate to her second job as a bartender. However, on her way there she sees that Gary stopped at a bakery. And while he's inside, Maddie tries to get her car back, but Gary notices, making her fail miserably. Now at work, Maddie loses it when a customer is trying to order a drink when she states that they are still a few minutes until they're open. So her coworker Fern has to step in and remind Maddie that she can be horrible any time of the year except for summer because those are the clients that keep the place open. But to Maddie, they are the people that are making it hard for her to live there. Sarah, Maddie's coworker, wants to help her by finding a car she can afford. Suddenly Sarah finds this fantastic post stating that they're looking for an attractive and kind woman in her early 20s to date their 19-year-old son this summer. The parents say that even though he's a wonderful young man, he's socially shy and never had a girlfriend. And so they want a woman to bring him out of his shell before he leaves for college in the fall. In exchange, they're willing to give out a Buick Regal. Maddie is past her early 20s but still feels like she's got a good chance. So she's off to meet Allison and Laird, the parents of the shy man. The first question they ask her is in regard to her age. Maddie comes clean about it and tells them that she's actually 32. Allison and Laird look at each other already thinking of dismissing her. But Maddie tells them that if she's there it's because they haven't found anyone yet, and that has to do with young girls being idiots. So what they want is someone who looks like a peer, but has the maturity to be able to handle the situation. This convinces Allison and Laird, but they tell Maddie that no one can know about this, especially Percy, their son. So Allison tells Maddie that she needs to approach him casually at the animal shelter where he volunteers. Maddie arrives at the place and pretends to be interested in adopting a dog. Percy shows her a dog and Maddie agrees to adopt it, so they move to the officer where Percy asks some questions to make sure she's a good candidate. Maddie pulls her best tricks to make Percy fall for her, but it doesn't seem to work. Percy actually wants to finish things fast, so he tells her that he'll have to send the application to his supervisor. Maddie tries to insist by saying that she might not want a dog another day. Percy tells her that in that case pet ownership may not be for her. However, Maddie convinces Percy to give him a ride home in Jim's van. Percy gets scared when he sees some knives in the back, so he tries to message his parents to tell them to call 911, but Maddie grabs his phone before he can send anything. Maddie parks in front of her house. Seeing how odd the situation is, Percy pepper sprays her on the eyes, saying that she tried to kidnap him. Maddie explains that if she was going to do that she wouldn't have given her personal information first. Percy feels bad for her and sprays her with water. Maddie tells him that she just thought he was super hot. Percy is surprised to hear this and says that maybe they should go on a date then. Maddie takes Percy to the beach, but he's too worried about how it is prohibited to be there past a certain time. Maddie takes her top off and convinces Percy to skinny dip with her. Suddenly some teenagers arrive to steal their clothes, but Maddie won't stay there watching them go away. Maddie gets out of the sea and hits them, making them leave. Maddie is pissed at Percy for not doing anything and not wanting to get intimate with her. Maddie gets in the car ready to leave, but Percy attaches to the windshield saying that he won't go until she gives him back his phone. But Maddie's worst nightmare was about to happen. She has the police following her, but she doesn't want to stop since she's on probation and can't risk losing her license, so instead she speeds up and drives over the train tracks. They leave the cops behind and Maddie takes Percy to her house. Maddie tries to get Percy excited, but Percy's back itches and he explains that it happens when he gets anxious. So Maddie puts some cream on Percy's back and opens up to him about her life. Percy also reveals a rumor that affected him really badly and that caused him to just have online friends. But Percy says that his old nanny, Jody, helped him a lot. While Maddie is at home with Sarah and Jim, a man named Doug knocks on her door. Doug says that he's a real estate broker and wants Maddie to sell him her property. Doug warns Maddie that if she doesn't pay off her lien, the county's gonna fire sale her house. Maddie doesn't take the offer and gets ready to have dinner with Percy. This is like prom to them because none of them actually attended their prom. At the restaurant, Maddie asks Percy to play the piano for her. After he's done playing, a girl named Natalie appears to congratulate Percy for his performance. Natalie invites Percy to a party where there'll be a bunch of other Princeton students. Maddie immediately says that they have plans. Percy says that he wants to talk about their future, but Maddie refuses to have that talk, which makes Percy leave for the Princeton party. Maddie follows him inside and totally freaks out when some girls tell her that Percy is upstairs with Natalie. Maddie breaks the door and sees that Percy is not feeling well because he took a pill, so Maddie makes him throw up. But later finds out that he just took an ibuprofen. Then the owners of the house try to kick Maddie out. Percy tries to help but ends up punching Maddie instead. After they leave, Percy finally tells Maddie that he wants to do it, but when he says that he loves her, Maddie decides it is best to wait for when he's not drunk. The next day, Percy tells his parents that he has a girlfriend and won't go to Princeton because she doesn't want to do long distance. Percy's parents call Maddie to tell her that she has to convince Percy to go to college. Maddie asks if she can do that, will she get the car and not have to get intimate with him. But just when she was saying this, Percy overhears the conversation through the car speakers. Percy invites Maddie for dinner at his house and makes some remarks that show he knows his parents planned everything. Percy decides to break the car his parents are supposed to give Maddie. When Percy returns, he finally gets it on with Maddie and then he reveals what he did to the car. Percy asks Maddie if any of it was real. Maddie says that she told him lots of things she never told anybody, but she also explains why she did it and apologizes to him. Gary brings Maddie her new car. Percy tells his parents that they need to let him fail or succeed on his own from now on. Maddie now balances being an Uber driver and bartender again. And after a while, she reaches her financial goals. Sarah and Jim surprise Maddie by telling her that they're moving to Florida because they can't afford to leave there anymore. Maddie finds Percy and she won't come off the hood of his car until she can talk to him. This causes Percy to crash the car on the beach. Maddie apologizes to Percy and they hug each other. Maddie tells Percy that they're friends and he says that he'll probably come back for Thanksgiving. But Maddie tells Percy that she won't be there because she's moving to California. Maddie then surprises Sarah by telling her that her house is theirs, Jimmy bought it. Maddie could have gotten more for it but decided to sell it to her friends. Maddie picks Percy up to drive him to Princeton and shows him that she adopted the dog he showed her a while ago. They're both ready to leave.